Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 16 of class. This is our last week of lecture and introducing new content. And so this sort of completes not only the class, but it also wraps up the kind of mini series we've been on with respects to the Civil War. You know, we spent 2 weeks looking at the causes, 2 weeks looking at the conflict. Now we're looking at what we call the post-war period, known as Reconstruction. And Reconstruction roughly lasts from about 1863 to about 1877. Now, I know that sounds a little off, but President Lincoln, in around 1863, issues a plan for Reconstruction, and thus we get a phase of Reconstruction known as wartime Reconstruction. Now, that plan doesn't fully get implemented, of course, because the war is going on, and so the main thrust of Reconstruction really begins when the war ends in 1865. There were different phases of Reconstruction. So you have wartime Reconstruction, you have what's called presidential Reconstruction, which basically took place, roughly between 1865, 66, that period, where essentially Andrew Johnson does what he sort of wants to do with respects to bringing the states, the seceded states, back into the Union. And as you will see, the idea that Johnson may have punished the South for their actions is not exactly what Johnson's going to do. And there is a segment of the Republican Party known as the Radical Republicans, which in fact that sort of faction, that segment of the Republican Party grows because, as you will see, during presidential Reconstruction and other periods of Reconstruction, which would be the third phase, known as either Congressional Reconstruction or it's also sometimes called Radical Reconstruction, this segment of the Republican Party grows because the president and the Congress do not see eye to eye on very many things. Radical Republicans and the Republican Party as a whole was looking to enfranchise African Americans and was really looking out for the betterment of newly freed slaves, where Johnson was not. But we're going to be talking about these three phases of Reconstruction. And as I mentioned already, this is the last lecture. So we'll take you all the way up to about 1877, when eventually the Democratic and the Republican Party, they kind of strike a deal, and Reconstruction will come to an end. But we have all that in the lecture this week. And then there's also a film by Dr. Foner, Eric Foner, and he's going to be talking about his perspective about Reconstruction. So look at that content. And of course, you want to be working on your second PowerPoint as well. That's coming up due fairly soon. And then, of course, obviously, you have your final exam that's coming up as well. So that's what we got for this week. So questions or comments, email me. I'll get back to you. Otherwise, as always, go in peace. Be warm and filled. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper. And may the odds forever be in your favor. Have a blessed week, guys.